Having a Christmas tree at home is one of Ripa's favorite aspects of the holiday season. She just revealed a fantastic story about why she is spending this season on her second tree. Fans were informed by Kelly that her first Christmas tree appeared to be from National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. She mentioned that her tree had a slightly different appearance this year. Ripa talks about her tree problems. Ripa said that she is on her second Christmas tree this year on Live with Kelly and Mark. According to her, this year's tree appears a little different. Ripa and her husband, Mark Consuelos, shared the amusing tale of how they replaced their tree. What precisely transpired then, Kelly clarified. This year, we had two trees. When one arrived, it was too large for our home. Every year, I look forward to the Christmas tree, so it's a big deal to me. And it looked like a scene from National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation when the tree arrived and they chopped it apart. Like an onion in blossom, the entire tree grew big. Kelly revealed that in order to get a tree that was a better fit for the area, she had to have the old one taken down. But there were certain peculiar characteristics of the second tree. She thought the second tree might be a bit too thin, but the first was too big for the area. So we got what I like to call tree Zempic, or Pinjaro, she laughed. Avoid skinny shaming her because she is thin. She takes it personally. She has been working out daily. When I tell you that she is gorgeous, the branches and even the lightest ornament on this tree say, I can't. Mark chimes, the husband of Kelly, in Kelly's remarks regarding the humorous tree issue at home are not unique. Yeah, I heard terms like, these branches are flaccid. Her husband, Mark Consuelos, stated. The majority of the ornaments are inside the tree. Kelly concurred with Mark. According to Consuelos, I think it's great. The tree that the couple ended up having in their house doesn't disturb him in the least. One advantage of a slim tree is that it presents less decorating challenges. Kelly revealed that while the back of her tree is typically quite empty, this year she managed to decorate it beautifully because of Tree Zempic. But her husband Mark merely enjoyed spending time with his family by the fireside. Ripa is the kind of person who can turn even a holiday disaster into pure comedy gold. On Live with Kelly and Mark, she recently confessed to something that had fans howling with laughter. She and Mark Consuelos had to buy a second Christmas tree this year, not for the sheer glamour of having one for the living room and one for the foyer, but because the first one, her pride and joy, ended up in pieces after what she described as a series of unfortunate, pine-scented events. The Great Christmas Tree Tradition. For years, Kelly has been vocal about her love for Christmas. On air, she often describes herself as a holiday maximalist, the type who plays carols the day after Halloween and insists that twinkle lights stay up until at least Valentine's Day. So naturally, when December rolled around, she had her game plan ready, the biggest, most fragrant, most cinematic tree she could find. We treat it like a military operation, Kelly told her live audience. Mark drives, I direct, and one of us pretends we're lumberjacks while the other complains about pine needles. This year, the couple settled on a 10-foot Fraser fir, the kind of tree that makes people gasp when they walk in the room. Kelly was ecstatic. Mark, on the other hand, joked, I had to ice my back after carrying it in, but anything for Christmas spirit. With carols blaring and mugs of hot cocoa on hand, the decorating commenced. By the time they finished, the Ripa Consuelos' living room looked like something out of a glossy holiday catalog. Glass ornaments twinkling, ribbons cascading like waterfalls, and the faint scent of pine filling every corner. Everything was perfect, until it wasn't. The mishap. According to Kelly, the disaster struck 3 nights later. I was sitting on the couch, admiring my work like the Queen of Christmas, when suddenly, I hear this creak, she explained, recreating the moment with exaggerated sound effects for her audience. And then, crash. The tree had toppled. Ornaments shattered, garlands tangled, and the tree itself leaned against the wall like a wounded soldier. Kelly froze in shock before yelling for Mark, who came running in from the kitchen holding a plate of cookies. He looked at me like I had staged it for drama, Kelly laughed. But no, This was a genuine tree tragedy. Mark, telling his side of the story, said, I walk in, and it looks like a holiday crime scene. There's tinsel everywhere. The angel is face down on the rug. Kelly's just standing there whispering, not my tree. Attempts to save the tree. Of course, they tried to salvage it. Mark, ever the problem solver, attempted to lift the tree back into place while Kelly held the stand steady. But in their retelling, this effort quickly devolved into slapstick chaos. He kept shouting, hold it straight. And I was like, I am holding it straight, you're crooked. Kelly told viewers, doing an impression of her husband's exasperated face. At one point, Mark accidentally stepped on a glass ornament, letting out a yelp. Kelly, in typical fashion, quipped, Congratulations, now you're the star of the tree. The more they tried, the worse it got. Finally, Kelly admitted defeat. I looked at Mark and said, we need a second tree. This one's cursed. Enter tree number 2. The very next day, the couple set off in search of another tree. But here's where the comedy deepened. By the time they arrived at their favorite lot, the choices were slim. The guy pointed to the scrawny thing in the corner and said, That's all we've got left, Kelly recalled. I was like, excuse me, I am Kelly Ripa. I cannot be outdone by Charlie Brown's Christmas tree. They eventually tracked down a fuller option, though slightly shorter than their original. 8 feet instead of 10, Kelly sighed dramatically. I felt like I was settling in a Hallmark movie. Back home, they redecorated from scratch. Kelly took it as a sign to experiment. I thought, why not go colorful this time? The first tree was classy gold and silver. The second one, I went with rainbow chaos. If I was going to suffer, I might as well suffer with glitter. The audience reacts. Fans watching live couldn't stop laughing as Kelly recounted every detail. Social media lit up with comments. Only Kelly could make a Christmas tree collapse sound like a rom-com. Imagine being their neighbor and hearing the crash followed by 2 people arguing over who's holding it straighter. This is why I use a fake tree. Mark, meanwhile, good-naturedly ribbed his wife during the episode. You know, most people would just put the ornaments back on. But no, Kelly needs an entire replacement tree. Kelly shot back. Excuse me, I don't do half-baked Christmas. I do full-baked, fully frosted, sprinkled with joy Christmas. The silver lining. In the end, what could have been a holiday nightmare became one of their funniest family memories. Even their kids joined in on the teasing. Our daughter Lola said, You guys are officially in your tree era. 2 trees, 2 dramas, 1 holiday, Kelly shared. And Joaquin just wanted to know if the cookies survived. The second tree, against all odds, stood tall through the remainder of the season. Kelly dubbed it the redemption tree, while Mark jokingly added, I put sandbags around the base just in case. By Christmas morning, the chaos had turned into a story they knew they'd tell for years. Kelly's takeaway. On the last live before the holiday break, Kelly reflected on the ordeal with her usual mix of sarcasm and sincerity. You know, the holidays aren't about perfect trees or Pinterest-worthy decorations. They're about laughing when the ornaments break, about eating the cookies before the guests arrive, about surviving the mess together. And honestly, I wouldn't trade our ridiculous second tree saga for anything. Mark raised his coffee mug in agreement. To the Ripa Consuelos Tree Wars of 2024, may we never forget them. Kelly clinked her mug against his. And may next year's tree stay upright. The audience applauded, charmed by the reminder that even America's morning show royalty face holiday disasters. And that sometimes the best way to deal with them is just to laugh, buy a second tree, and keep the Christmas lights shining.